the next generation of manufacturing might not be on Earth at all. It could be in space. Not just anywhere in space, but in zero-gravity factories orbiting the planet. The idea is that these factories will use materials from asteroids to make stuff that can then be sold to people on Earth, potentially making a lot of money for very little investment. But is it actually possible? Asteroids are made of valuable stuff like platinum, iron, and nickel, and one company is already on its way to collect them. This company, called Asteroid, has developed a new kind of thruster that can take a spacecraft further than any other thruster can, all while using resources that are readily available in space, specifically from asteroids. To understand how this works, we need to talk about what's currently stopping us from putting factories in space. The biggest problem is that they would cost way too much to build and maintain. We'd have to launch tons of stuff into orbit, including the factories, parts, and the people who would have to operate it. It's also hard to move around in space. You can't just walk from one place to another. You have to use a vehicle for everything. So if you want to go from your spaceship to your space factory, you'll have to take a shuttle. That adds more cost and more complexity. But Astroforge's new thruster solves both of these problems. First, it can take a ship further than any other thruster can, meaning that it can get to the asteroid without having to make multiple stops along the way for refueling. Second, it doesn't need fuel. It runs on water, which is way cheaper and easier to transport than fuel, and it can be powered by solar energy. So once it's up there, it can just run continuously without needing to be refueled or serviced. This means that it might actually be possible to build a zero-gravity factory in space using materials from asteroids and then bring that factory closer to Earth to start making things. The company hasn't said exactly what it plans to make, but it's probably going to be whatever people are willing to pay the most for. And given that we're talking about things like platinum group metals, it's probably going to be something expensive. The space economy is growing fast. In 2021, it was valued at $423 billion, and it is expected to reach $2.7 trillion by 2040. There is a lot of opportunity for new businesses and new technologies in this space, and Astroforge is just one example of a company that's looking to capitalize on that. Of course, there are challenges. One is that space is hard. Things don't always go according to plan, and there's a lot of risk involved. But if we're able to develop new technologies that make it easier and cheaper to operate in space, then the possibilities are really endless. We might be able to build factories that produce everyday goods, like clothing, or food, or even factories that manufacture other factories. Who knows? The point is that we should keep pushing forward and exploring these possibilities, because the future of manufacturing might very well be in the stars. If you liked this video, check out my other videos about space. I have a whole playlist of videos about the latest space news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.